All right. Okay, we are live. This is pretty cool. And you can see all my diagrams. I hope you can see that clearly. We're going to be covering some stuff today. Just all the important things about warming up and why we do it. And we're just going to go through so many other different things that I'm super excited about. That I haven't even added into my course yet. So these things are really, really important. And, also I'm giving away um, one free course to one lucky winner today. And also, I'm giving away several lessons for free to people who want to send me their emails with a certain subject. And we'll talk about that later on during the class. So, yay, we have like a little bit of a party starting here. I like it. Okay. Today, you can ask me any questions that you want, which is really cool because even though we're just talking about why we're warming up, how to warm up, and why we need to cool our voices down, we're going to cover a whole expanse of all of the things that are going on with the voice. Because I think that one of the things that most of us don't understand is it's just not this little tiny vocal cords here and not the diaphragm. It's so much more, so many more muscles involved and things that we don't think about. And another thing that we don't really think about is training the voice like an athlete would train. And that's something that's really exciting for me. And that's what I really want to kind of instill in people is that there's so much going on physically when you make sound that you take for granted. And all of these diagrams I'm going to take you through. And hopefully, you're just going to be like, what? Are you kidding me? Why didn't I think of this before? No wonder why I'm losing my voice. No wonder why I'm not strong enough. No wonder why I'm not as consistent as I want to be. And it all starts with this thing about warming up. So, I did want to ask you questions today. So, let me see. I have like a whole bunch of notes here today to you guys. So, honestly, answer me in the chat. Do you warm up your voice? Like, just do you warm up your voice? Do you have a warm up routine? Is it something that, you don't think about? So, how many people just, oh, I'm just going to turn on a song and I'm going to practice singing and I think that's training or getting better. These are things that I want to know. Okay, so Rachel says 99% of the time. I do believe you on that one, Rachel. Rachel is one of my students, and so I do know that she does love to warm up. So that's super, super important. Okay. So who else warms up? Anyone? If you don't say no, I want the truth. Just put it in there. Just put it in the chat. Let's see. What's Jessica gonna say? Jessica, yes. Okay, good. So Jessica warms up. So that's another one of my students. I know my students because they warm up. So some of the things that we're going to go over today are um, all of the muscles that are involved. You don't have to remember what they are, okay? But you need to get a good look at them so your mind can go, oh, wow, there's just so much more to this than I thought, okay? And then the next thing that I really want to discuss is why do all of them have to have some form of warm up? Okay. And then we're going to associate that with what happens to the body when you're an athlete and you do not warm up and you attempt to do something that is very, very physical, and how lactic acid starts to build up in the vocal folds, and or the other muscles that you're not aware of that you're using. So as a vocalist, there's so much going on from literally the bottom of the rib cage, which would be here, all the way up to the top of the head, which would be this lovely lady here. Okay. So it's quite the journey when it comes to the voice and like all the things that are going on. There's a lot of facial muscles, there's a lot of rib cage muscles, and um, stuff that's operating within the voice that we don't ever think about. We just go, oh, I'm just going to sing a song. And that's great. Yeah, I'm going to sing a song. But if you just go, let's see, let's take a good one. Oh, okay. Oh, little Ray is here too with mom's name, Sandra. Hi, little Ray. How are you, honey? It's good to see you. I know that you have been working really, really hard get past, I think, module 4, and that's really good. That's really, really good. But if you don't get past module 4, don't worry about it because these things come with time. Oh, love the smile. Very nice. Okay. So, let me ask Little Ray, do you warm your voice up now that you're a student with me? Do you ever like warm up your voice to kind of like get singing on something? And answer that when you want to. Okay. So, back to what I was saying. Like, imagine that you're a gymnast. Okay. Everybody's a gymnast here. Okay. And so, as a gymnast, if you go in and you want to do a floor routine and you don't warm up, so many injuries can occur on just that one thing that you do. Okay. You just walk out there and you just boom and you do that. And you don't realize that because your muscles are not stretched, warmed up with fresh blood in them, and then limbered out. Okay. That that triple flip, it's gonna hurt. Okay. That back is gonna hurt. Those hamstrings are gonna hurt. Okay. So take an average person who's pretty good at doing, let's say they're Sandra. Okay, little Rachel, she warms up. I knew that. I knew she would do that. So I can do a cartwheel pretty good, even at my age. Not going to tell you. But say I was half the age that I am now, and I can do a cartwheel. And I mentioned I can do a cartwheel. And someone says, I'll give you $50 right now if you could do 20 cartwheels in a row. So I said, oh, great, great, great. I'm going to do 20 cartwheels in a row. I do it. I do the 20 cartwheels, you know. I almost fall down a couple times because I'm dizzy. Hey, the next day, I'm going to be so sore. Think about this. So sore because when I do a cartwheel, I have no idea what muscles are working. You know, I'm not a gymnast. So I'm just going to go and do it. But this muscle, that muscle, this wrist, you know, all of those things, they're working. I'm not aware of it. I'm not saying, oh, goodness gracious, I need to warm up my legs. I need to warm up my arms. I need to warm up this. I don't think about it. I go and I do the 20 cartwheels because I want the $50, right? So the next day, I feel like I've been run over by a truck. Yes, totally. My wrists are killing me. Okay. My arms are super sore. I think I might even hurt my Achilles tendon landing because I haven't done 20 cartwheels in a row in a very long time, and I haven't warmed up my muscles, and I haven't done the conditioning. Yeah, so we are discussing, you know, the what happens when we don't warm up our muscles. So I was in CrossFit a few years back, and I really, really loved CrossFit, you know, and I started out, I couldn't do anything. Okay. And the first day, I think that we had to run around the building a couple of times. And then I had to do an insane amount of sit ups. I don't even know how many it was, but it was so many that the next day I was sick to my stomach. I couldn't eat. I couldn't get out of bed without rolling out of bed because your abdominal muscles are used for literally everything that you do. Okay. So I was really sick. I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. And I had this big bruise right here on my upper abdominal wall. I don't know what happened, but it was black and blue and it was swollen. So because I was there, you know, I'm at CrossFit. I'm like, oh, it's day one. I'm going to lose so much weight in 6 weeks. It was a 6 week challenge, you know, and I thought, oh, I've got this, you know. I didn't have this. I didn't have a clue what was going on, but I know I was black and blue like you wouldn't believe and sick to my stomach, and I couldn't eat for a few days. So that's probably why I lost so much weight the first week at CrossFit. But even so, anybody who goes to a gym class, right? You go in, right? You want to get in great shape. Okay. Hey, I want to get in great shape. I'm going to the gym. Everything's going to be great. So, what do? You don't walk in the door and like load 95 pounds on your 45-pound bar and start doing deadlifts. Your back is going to be torn out. Your hamstrings are going to be torn out. Your glutes are going to be torn out. Your abs, because, you know, your abs is your core, you know, and you're doing a deadlift. All of these things make no sense to do without warming up our muscles. And that's a problem that I notice that a lot of us vocalists don't really think about, you know? First of all, I want to say raise your hand if you know that your voice is an instrument and that you play it. Give me a little heart or a smile or an emoji of some kind in the chat, you know? So you know, yes, okay, Rachel's like, I know that it's an instrument. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not playing an instrument, okay? And if you want to get that instrument, okay, Jessica, yes, thumbs up. If you want to get that instrument in condition, okay, you're not just going to go and sing a song and say, hey, this is going to be great. I'm going to sing Ariana Grande. I'm going to sing Demi Lovato. I'm going to sing, you know, AC/DC, whatever it is that you're into, because I love all kinds of music, you know, and huge grunge fan here, by the way. Is anybody a grunge fan? Oh, William says I always warm up. Yes. Nice. Excellent. Okay. Perfect. So, another thing about warming up is do we know what we're warming up as a vocalist? How much do you know about your entire instrument? Be honest with yourself. So, um do you know how your rib cage opens? Question number 1. Do you know what muscles open up your rib cage? Question number 2. Do you know how your diaphragm works? Question number 3, and what it does and doesn't do? Do you know oh, wait, hold on. Oh, Rachel says not until okay, thanks, Rachel. Do you know how many facial muscles are involved in shaping the sound that you create? I'll give you the answer to that in a couple of minutes. Do you know the muscles? How many muscles are surrounding the larynx in your throat, which we are going to talk about today, that can seize up if not warmed up properly, and or seize up if you're not using your breathing, your rib cage properly to support your diaphragm, and your abdominal walls get involved. So I know it's like a million questions, right? But I really want you to ask as many questions as you want to, because I'm here to answer all of that stuff. And I didn't want to turn this into an anatomy lesson, but I realized that when I was putting this whole thing together, if we knew every single muscle and what it did and what we have to warm up, we would have so much more respect for actually getting all of it done so that we don't hurt any of it, because there's just so much going on. So, does that make sense to everyone? I want to see some hearts. I think I want to see hearts over in the chat. I don't know why. I just do. Does it work like that? Because this is my first live. So I'm not like, you know, it's not like Facebook where you can do hearts and emojis. Oh, Jessica, thank you for the heart. Oh, I love you. Boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. Okay, who wants to win a free voice lesson with me during this class? Like a whole 1 hour one-on-one. If you're local, you can come in person. Very nice. Who is that gangster right there? Right in that. I get that. Okay. So let's start with um, going through some of these. Okay. Now, how many people have heard the phrase sing from the diaphragm? Please, every single person that has heard that, give me some love in the chat. I want to see this. Rachel's like, I can't find the heart. I can't find the heart emoji either, Rachel. So every single person who's ever heard the phrase sing from the diaphragm, I want to hear a shout out from. Oh, Jesse, thank you for the heart. Very nice. I got 2 hearts from you today. That's nice. Katrina, hey, welcome. William's like truth, truth, truth. Okay. Yes. And I have. All right. So I'm going to say something and I hope it doesn't blow your mind. You cannot sing from the diaphragm. It does not sing. Nope, it doesn't. It's a muscle and it does not make a sound. How many people know that? Oh, Rachel, you're so adorbs. Okay, so yeah, so the diaphragm does not sing. And people say, oh, you got to warm up all your muscles. Yeah, I'm going to tell you the truth. The diaphragm is always warmed up. The diaphragm works 24 hours a day. You do not need to worry about your diaphragm. Every breath you take, along with a lot of other things that you do that I do not want to discuss because it has nothing to do with singing and it's kind of gross. The diaphragm is a very, very busy muscle, one of the strongest muscles in the body, if not the strongest muscle in the body. So the deal is this: all it does for the purposes of singing is regulate the airstream by lifting on the lungs inside the rib cage. So here's your diaphragm. You can see it's really, really large. It's not here like some people think it is. It is underneath the entire, oh, that's the wrong one, rib cage. Okay. So basically, it just lifts on the lungs. Okay. So it's not like we have to warm up the diaphragm. But what we do have to warm up, and what is very, very important, is this: the rib cage. Okay. So our rib cage is really the most important set of muscles, the intercostal muscles. There are three sets. There is the outer, the inner, and the innermost. Okay. This is a cross section of that. When the ribs open, it's when you're breathing. Okay. So I know that when I go into a recording session or I go to a rehearsal and I haven't done my rib cage exercises and done my stretches and done my lip trills and my facial massages and things like that, I'm risking kind of hurting myself. And I'm going to tell you a true story that happened 2 weeks ago. I was at rehearsal. Okay. This is just an interjection. I was like, "Oh, I don't have time to warm up, and I gotta go to rehearsal, and I haven't sung with the band since February 27th, 2020." Yeah. So, it was time to get back with the band because we're all vaccinated, right? And I think, "Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna be fine. I'm just gonna sing, like, the really soft songs at first." And this is me, like, I'm the warm-up queen, and what do? I think it's gonna be fine, right? So, I go, and everybody's set up, and everybody's doing everything. We have a new bass player, and he comes in and he doesn't know the repertoire. So he's like, "Oh, do you know this song?" And he starts playing this really cool song that I love. And I don't know if any of you will know it, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's an old staple singer song and it's called "I'll Take You There." William, you probably know what it is. Okay. So it's like really hard soul song, right? And this guy's jamming it and it's the first song. And I'm like, crap. So I start singing it and I'm like 3/4 of the way through and I know how I'm going, this is not the song that I should be singing right now because I did not warm up. And then, of course, we go on to this really complicated song by Shaka Khan, and I cracked because I was not warmed up. Okay. And I stopped the band and I said, wait a minute, hold on a second. So in this song, right? There's like this high G, okay? I wasn't warmed up. I think it might even gone to an A. And I was singing it. It was called Sweet Thing. So some of you may or may not know that. And I cracked. Like, I don't even know this guy, the new bass player. I hadn't warmed up and I cracked. And I was like, stop. And I was like, hold on a second. And I turn around and I go to sing the note just to make sure I can sing it, right? So I get it and I go, okay, I can still hit that note. All right, I'm fine. Continue. But it was because I didn't warm up. And so, like, by the end of like 40 minutes, my voice was toast. Okay. I had spent a year developing this course, going through COVID, and I didn't warm up and I hadn't been singing with a band. That's why I'm doing this class today because I'm eating my own crow by not following my own advice. So I'm back to doing what I need to do and warming up the muscles that I need to warm up. Okay. Okay.